other troopers to ensure the townsfolk would be protected in the event of a repeat outrage. Chatfield protested the appointment in a letter to Superintendent McCleary, saying 4 men would do well to defend themselves, let alone Canowindra, against these desperados. The first to arrive at Out Robinson's Inn on the evening of Sunday, the 11th of October, were the notorious Johnny Gilbert and the one day to be famous Ben Hall. They bailed up the hotel. Mr. Robinson, who had not been at the hotel on the previous occasion, but must have been uneasy about the fact that an all-night soiree had occurred in his absence, where his daughters had been forced to play music, dance and make merry with the outlaws. Next to arrive were the murderous Johnny O'Mealy and the 2 recent recruits to the gang, Mickey Burke and Johnny Vane. They were blackguards who had shot the ostler. They were the blackguards who had shot the ostler, German Charlie, at Cooming Park. These men stood drinks all around for the patrons of the hotel and behaved as they had on their previous visit, with a patronising and wholly false decorum. The late spring rains had swelled the Ballabula River, but this did not stop Hall and Vane crossing the river to the Travellers' Rest Hotel across the river. They returned to Robinson's at 1 AM on Saturday the 12th of October, rejoined their compatriots and rode off. It would seem, however, that Hall and Vane had learned some vital information while at the pub across the river, that Superintendent Chatfield and his troopers had abandoned their posting at Canowindra the previous day and decamped to Cowra, where Sir Frederick Pottinger and myself were stationed. With the rivers and creeks of the district rising, the gang realised that they were in a unique situation. They were inch by inch of rising water being cut off from the rest of the world. With no police on hand by Constable Sykes, Canowindra was theirs for the taking. They turned their horses back towards the Robinsons and rode back into town. This is where our reenactment begins. I shall now introduce these notorious villains. First up, we have Mickey Burke. Mickey Burke, raise your hand. Mickey Burke, raise your hand up your gun. There he is, the notorious Mickey Burke. 20 years old, from the Neville district near Mount Macquarie. This vicious young maniac began his bushranging career with the theft of 2 impeccably credentialed racehorses from the Cooming Park station of Mr. Thomas Isley. In the process, he shot German Charlie in the neck. He is not long for this world. 12 days after these events in 1863, he will die whilst taking part in an attack on the Gold Commissioner Henry Cartley's home near Rocklea. He was shot. He was not dead. He shot himself twice in the head to spare the pain. Johnny Vane, our next bushranger. Where is he? There is Johnny Vane. This swarthy, hulking behemoth is 6 foot tall with a magnificent black beard, and along with Burke is the gang's newest member. Just 21 years old, he too grew up near Neville and was involved in the incident at Cooming Park where Charlie was shot. He hates the gang's most experienced member, Johnny Gilbert, as he makes only too clear in his autobiography. He harbours resentment after being bested in a fight by Gilbert, who Vane claimed only won because of a punch to the throat. The death of his friend Mickey Burke at the Cartley siege dampened his freebooting enthusiasm, and he turned himself over to the law. A wise move, as unlike his companions on this occasion, he would live to an old age. He died in Cowra Hospital in 1906 and is buried at Woodstock. Now, Johnny O'Mealy. Where is Johnny O'Mealy? Look at him, what a thug. This gruesome ginger psychopath is the gang's only certified killer at this stage of history. He is a creature to be feared who displayed his errant poltroonery by slaying Mr. Barnes, a shopkeeper from Canowindra down at Wallenbean. Indeed. O'Mealy was a creature of his environment. He grew up in the surrounds of the notorious Wedden Mountain Inn, where he learned violence and criminality from a young age. O'Mealy is only 22 years old. Look how his depredations, drinking, debauchery and sleeping rough have weathered his appallingly grizzled features. He has 5 weeks to live. Johnny Gilbert. Johnny Gilbert, raise your hand please. Johnny Gilbert, at 21 years old, Gilbert is the gang's most experienced member. Do not be fooled by his blonde page boy haircut. Gilbert will go on to become a killer and hold the world record for armed robbery, which I believe still stands of over 600 robberies in his 4-year career. This streak of infamy was ended on the 13th of May 1865, 19 months hence, when Gilbert met his maker in a creek bed at Bynalong. Born in Canada, Gilbert was the apprentice to the king of the road, Frank Gardner. We shall never, thankfully, see his like again. Ben Hall. Where's Ben? So-called history tells us that Ben Hall was a gentleman, a landholder with prospects, a man of high renown and the leader of the gang. All utter piffle. He was a thief, a cripple, an adulterer, and an ill-bred scoundrel! Look at his countenance. It is hardly that of a gentleman. Native born from convict stock, he is the oldest of the gang at 26, but would not, due to the heroic actions of police, make the age of 28. He was filled with lead at Billabong Creek on the 5th of May, 1865. They again bailed up Robinson's Hotel and informed them that they intended to take the town for the foreseeable future. Keep out of the way, kids, you don't want to be trampled. These blackguards have run over a child with a horse at the drop of a hat. So keep out of the way. Safety first. Okay. They're nothing but trouble, these guys. Don't applaud, don't applaud. Not over yet. Yeah, run them over.
Go to Mickey. You go up there and bring back anyone you see at gunpoint.
Hello, I'm going to move out the lane.
All right.
Set down the track towards Tugong and the lock of Goldfield. Mickey Burke up the track towards Carcoar and Bathurst.
Keep in the middle of the road outside.
If you folks down here across the road could spread because we've got some vehicles.
Come on, get out. Everybody out. Into the pub.
Into the air.
That's not period.
It appears that O'Mealy has found 3 wealthy landholders, Hiverson, Twiddell and Kirkpatrick.
Into the air. Pile up. You wealthy landholders, into the pub.
Reckless actions by O'Mealy once again. 150 years later, you're still playing up, aren't you? You thug. As they gather people towards their soiree in the pub, Johnny Vane, who was soaked to the skin by the continual rain, which you won't notice today, but back then it had been raining for weeks. He went across to Pierce's store, which is the old bank building over here, and stuck up the place. Close blankets, hand them over. Oh, you frightful beast, how dare you! And Vane is bringing him back across to the pub. Okay. Gilbert went inside, bought every cigar in stock and placed them on a table for the smoking pleasure of the assembled throng. Drinks and food were called for and paid for by the gang from their robbery proceeds. Drinking, dancing and good-natured banter characterised the proceedings. Nary a foul word was uttered, with the only undue action occurring when a loaded carbine fell over and discharged itself near O'Mealy's legs. The festivities carried on for 3 days, with drinking, dancing, shooting and jumping competitions in the main street and no casualties or molestation. At one stage, Hall departed and returned with the unfortunate Constable Sykes, who was brought to the inn and variously made to partake in festivities, march a century on the veranda, or be tied to the pole.
Ho, lads, what have we got here? I couldn't find Constable Sykes. There's no police in town. Again. Blind Freddy will have to do.
You dreadful blighter, sir! How dare you!
You're coming with me.
The end. Thank you very much, folks. Remember, we have stuff happening all this afternoon. If you could come in for a beer, if you could join us at the bush dance, if you come down for food down in the markets, the art competition, the art exhibition. We have historical talks downstairs in the restaurant, which are going to be fantastic. I'm so glad you all came here today. We really appreciate it. Canowindra really does appreciate your efforts, and we thank you. Good afternoon. Have a good time.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oops! I did it again, baby. Yeah!
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye for now.